Hello and welcome to the PSVR show. I am Nick Boy Richardson, and normally I would be joined on this couch by someone much more famous than I am. But last month, Sony sent me to San Francisco to experience the PSVR showcase. So I thought, what better way for you to experience the PSVR showcase than in VR? So this is the PSVR showcase experience. No, Crash Bandicoot. Yeah? What? Where am I? Okay. Devilishly handsome. Great sense of humor. Cool hair. Alright, looking good. What's next? Find VR showcase. I'm on it. Man, this place is cool. It's kind of got like a Shining vibe. Oh, why did I say that? Now I'm scared. Nailed it. Hey, I found it! Alright, what's up next? Play Iron Man. Alright.
Morning, sir. Our travel time to Shanghai is 11 hours, 15 minutes.
So is this the MCU Iron Man, or are you arrogant enough to think you can do better?
So Marvel's Iron Man VR is a completely original Iron Man Tony Stark story where we try to match the unique attributes of VR with just how amazing Iron Man is as an IP. So we really wanted to get that versatility and also that visceralness of being Iron Man and the action, but also the story side of Iron Man as well. It's full campaign, big set pieces, and big intimate moments, and also big epic moments as well that we want to mix in to have it feel like a full game. I know that's what PlayStation VR users want. They want that full Iron Man, Tony Stark fantasy, and that's what we're building.
Okay, so I gotta be honest, the first time I saw the Iron Man trailer a couple of days ago, I went, oh no. But I'm happy to report the game plays way, way better than what that trailer made it look like. It feels so good to be able to fly around, and I thought it would be really on rails, but it's not. I get to fly around wherever I want, and I have full control of all my movements and my shooting. And it just feels like you're there trying to save a plane as it plummets to the ground. You're actively involved in trying to stop this disaster, and it feels really, really cool. And the best part is, according to the dev guy, this is actually going to be a really story-focused multi-mission game.
Sir, hostiles inbound, 10 o'clock.
So much for a hero's welcome.
All right, up next, find No Man's Sky. Okay, so be honest, was VR always the plan for No Man's Sky?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something we've always wanted to do. It has been a long time coming. It's almost like our dessert, after eating all our vegetables of loads of other things that we wanted to do first and we needed to do first. And so we've been developing it for about the last year solidly, but it's been in the plans for a long while.
What are some of the challenges of putting No Man's Sky into VR?
Oh, well, it's a huge challenge from a controls and kind of interface point of view as much as anything. Game was never designed for VR, even though it was something we were always keeping in mind. It's not common to have a really complex game in VR, and we're excited about being ones who are doing that,
So would this VR mode have come out earlier, but you ended up focusing on content first because of the whole No Man's Sky situation?
We have a lot of players, we have a large player base, and they want all sorts of different things, and there's things that we're really excited about as well, right, in the game, but we wanted the kind of level of content and interaction that justified that VR experience. There's really interesting things that we've added to the game, like owning a freighter, or base building, or multiplayer, and those are super cool in VR, so this feels like a really nice time to do it.
Because it's not standalone. The VR is, I can use this on my current No Man's Sky save.
Right, you can boot up a save where you've got 100 hours played, you can have a home planet, you can have a base, you can have a freighter that you own, and now suddenly you can experience that in a whole new way. For us on the team, it's been really cool because we've had that moment. We can see the game with fresh eyes. We've worked on it for a long time, so it's really nice to experience that fresh.
All right, let's be honest with each other. No Man's Sky had a bit of a rough launch, but they have continued to maintain and improved this game to a point where now it is entirely different than the game that came out a few years ago. The whole game is about exploring and about traversing into new worlds. That feels the best when you are in VR. And since No Man's Sky is a game about exploring new worlds and new environments and biomes, then I think that the VR will really help me want to do that even more. I might land on a planet, and instead of going, oh yeah, this is kind of just like a jungle planet, you go, no, let's wade through the jungles and explore what's in here. Let's go into those caves, let's go underwater, let's hop in our ship and pull back the thrust shift stick thing. I don't know how these ships work, and you fly into space. You're doing the whole thing. It feels really, really good. So why make the Concrete Genie VR experience separate to the game?
One of the first things that we encountered was the scale of the environments in the world. You know, initially we took some environments straight from the core Concrete Genie game on PS4, put them into VR, and very, very quickly found out that they weren't going to work. And so all of the free paint locations that the VR team has built have been done from the ground up, custom made just for VR free painting, and it allows us to have a nice range and scale, and make sure that the painting canvases are perfectly positioned for you to hang out with your genies in VR, paint on a very kind of broad set of textured environments in the world, and then also just making sure that all of those brushes, once you step into that genie world, are as fun and full of joy that they are in the main game as well. And that's like a completely unique challenge that those guys have had to solve completely on their own. And it's been hard work, but I'm really happy with how that's turned out. You've tried it, haven't you? We saw it today.
I did, that's why I'm here.
You get to do the painting and use the living paint mechanics that you have in the main game, but in the VR experience, you actually get to step into your painting and it gets turned into a real 3D world, the world of the genies, and then you get to experience painting in 3D, and so you get to try all of those painting mechanics, but elevated to a new level, really.
So out of all the games here, Concrete Genie is kind of the most experience as opposed to a game. This VR mode is kind of like a scene construction mode. It's very minimal interaction, but it's very effective. It manages to make me feel like a real artist without actually having to go to all the effort of figuring out how to properly paint a tree. It interprets what I want to do really, really well. Okay, so I've played Iron Man, I've played No Man's Sky, I've played Concrete Genie. What's left? Explore San Francisco. Jarvis, engage tourist rockets. Nick Boy away! Ow, 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 and we're off! Woo! Jarvis, divert power to my pants. Hey, it's the wharf. Hey, it's that like tall, bendy street thing. Hey, it's one of those famous San Francisco street poos I read so much about. Hey, is that the Golden Gate Bridge? Alright, hopefully the Iron Man game's better than that one. Overall though, it was a really fun showcase. I saw a bunch of games there, not just the 3 that we looked at in the episode, but I think that each one of the games had a unique way of implementing the VR, and that's the coolest thing. And while Iron Man was probably the most fun to play, I think No Man's Sky is just the most impressive, because they could have just let that game go, but instead they are sticking by, continuing to make it better and better, and just update and update. And it does feel like VR is probably the cherry on top of the No Man's Sky cake. Of course, the biggest news out of the whole thing is, I assume, Sony are now going to release the Nick Boy PSVR experience on the PlayStation Store, so you can buy it and enjoy it. And if they don't, then at the very least, they can make one of those premium dynamic themes, and I will do the sound effects for that now. Boot up. Settings. Friends list. Remove friend. Barjo. It's competition time, and we have a lot of fun here on the PSVR show, but you know what isn't fun? Not winning competitions. But thankfully, you don't need to be one of those people, because you could win your very own copy of No Man's Sky or a PSVR headset simply by telling us what game you're most excited about from the PSVR Showcase Experience. Head to PlayStation AU social channels for more information, and to put in a good word for old Nick Boy.
For the players.